Maxine, and welcome to MoDiv Talks. Let's get down to the Modiggity. Since it's our first episode, we're going to keep it a little bit introductory. I'll be the main host for this podcast, but we will be having other guest hosts and speakers from time to time. To sum it up, MoDiv is a team of vulnerable and blunt teenagers who are here to talk about mental health, neurodivergence, and, well, everything else that we just can't shut up about.
We've gathered up some interview questions to help you get to know the MoDiv Talks members a bit more. Let's get into it. Our first question is, what is your favorite thing about MoDiv Talks so far?
Okay, my favorite thing about MoDiv Talks so far is the fact that we could basically cover any topic we want, even if it's a little controversial. We can delve into it, do research on it, and discuss it amongst ourselves, and that's pretty freeing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'd say my favorite thing as well is just the topics that we work on, because I just think of an idea, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that'd be so good to write about. And it's just really interesting to start writing the episode, to like research and to get to know more about it. I just feel like it's stuff that not as many people talk about when it comes to mental health. So I feel like that's definitely my favorite part. All right, for the next question, what is your favorite word?
Favorite word? That's a hard one. I'd probably go with the word ocean because the way the letters mixed together sounds really nice to me, and you wouldn't expect it to sound ocean.
My favorite word is taciturn.
What does that mean?
Yeah, not a lot of people hear it. It means like someone who doesn't say a lot. And the reason why I really like it is because I heard it in a rap song once. And when I figured out what the word meant, I thought it was so clever that I just carried it around me ever since.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, what's yours?
I'm not sure, but recently I've liked to say MoDiggity a lot. Just
Definitely
because
a
of
quality
this
word.
podcast, just like MoDiggity, like it's not even an actual word. But if I had to choose an actual word, I love saying flabbergasted. It's just so funny to say, like I'm so
And
flabbergasted.
it sounds like exactly what it means.
Exactly. It's just really fun to say. Super fun.
All right. What's your favorite thing to do to release stress?
Whenever I feel stressed, I usually just go to some of my favorite hobbies. So I'll just like lie down in bed, either watch some anime or like listen to some good music and try to calm down.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. I'll go to my room, I'll sleep it off, I'll watch TikTok, or I'll just eat away my sorrows. I don't say it's necessarily healthy, but it does help me.
Hey, it happens. All right. So, what unpopular opinion do you have?
Not a lot of people probably think this, but for me, the unhealthier the food, the better it is. If it says healthy popcorn or something, I won't buy it. If it says butter popcorn and I know it'll have extra fat, then it's obviously going to taste better.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Nope.
Wow, this really catches me off guard. I'm trying to think of something that's like I won't get hate for. I have to be very honest. I hate peanut butter.
Oh, I actually have to agree.
Yeah, exactly. I hate peanut butter. I used to eat it a lot when I was a kid. Like I would take spoonfuls of it and just eat it while I read books. But then one day I ate so much that I reached full capacity and I threw up. So now,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I have to retire it. It's canceled.
All right, you're probably going to be shocked at mine. I don't like pizza.
That's whack. I'm sorry. Your opinion is invalid. I just finished eating some pizza like an hour ago.
No pizza at all. The only thing I eat is the crust. And I've actually ordered
So
my pizza.
bread?
Yes, so bread. I've ordered pizza with just the crust and some toppings, and that's it. No cheese.
I can imagine how confused like the pizza guy was. Oh my god.
I
Yeah,
know.
we're gonna disregard that. Next question. Why are you passionate about mental health / neurodiversity?
I'm passionate about mental health because personally I was hospitalized for a really long time, and the trauma that followed genuinely kind of pulled me into the spiral of depression, and I was afraid to reach out at the time, and it took me years before I found myself again and opened up to people and started talking to them. And I feel that no one should have to go through that alone. And that's why I feel that the stigma around mental health should be combated. And that's why I helped co-found my Modern Divergence.
So basically, it's more of like a personal topic since ever since I was little, it's been something like I didn't even know, but it kind of affected my life in different ways. From when I was first diagnosed, right, it was like, what even is this? Like, it's just how I've been feeling all my life, and I didn't even know that it was some condition for it. So that's mainly why I'm passionate about mental health, because I feel like not many people get as many resources and there's not as much awareness to it. And in my school, I just see people laughing about like depression, laughing about mental health, not taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And people who actually have conditions, they're just seeing it as a joke. And it's just, there's just so much stigma around it. It's affecting people in healthcare, in society. And it's just, so yeah, that's mainly why I'm passionate about it, because I just don't like the way other people are, like, other people are seeing something so serious as a joke, and people who are actually struggling with things have to deal with that and not get the proper help that they're supposed to have.
It's really just rooted in our culture, mental illness, and how we, at least in America, how we don't really know how to treat that type of thing.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of different people in my life, some of my very close family and very close friends, have had to deal with mental illness. And watching that and seeing how, whether that's culturally perpetuated or whether that's something that they were born with, that
Mm-hmm.
damages them for the rest of their lives, and it affects how they see the world and how they interact with others. And I feel
Exactly.
like it's not rocket science. If you just get education, if you get awareness, and if you
Yeah.
get the help that you need, and you figure out that you need help in the first place, then a lot of the challenges and roadblocks that people with mental illness face in the first place can be lifted. And so I'm hoping that like
Exactly.
this entire organization, this podcast, and Modern Divergence overall can help with that pursuit.
Yeah, I definitely hope so as well. So, what's your least favorite thing about being in quarantine?
I mean, clearly, like not being able to go see my friends. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just beginning to like make friends with a lot of my classmates the second semester, sophomore year, and now it's all gone, and it's so bad that now I I look forward to going to work
Mm-hmm.
because it's the only time I can
Oh,
get out of the house.
I don't even have a job, so I'm just stuck at home.
Yeah, I used to think like, gosh, I wish I wasn't working, like 20-hour weeks, like working all weekend, but it's like I'm dying for that day to come so I can get out of the house and at least see other people.
When I'm stressed, I'll usually hit up one of my friends and start ranting or call them. But if it's something a little more personal, then usually I either write poetry or I'll just journal out my thoughts or my emotions.
Yeah, I definitely get the people part. Like, I miss my friends, just miss all the people who are important to me. Grades have also been like your schoolwork in general. I actually prefer it to regular classes. Right now, my school is doing a pass and fail instead of doing actual grades. So that's
Hmm.
been kind of weird as well.
My school is not doing that, which is
Mm-hmm.
why I despise school right now, because they just give us pounds of work and they say, yeah, so I guess you could figure out how you want to get this done.
Oh gosh.
And it's all, and honestly, I'd rather it be graded for
Mm-hmm.
accuracy because, like, well, you're a junior, so like you're already like worried about college, but I'm just thinking ahead. Like I'm trying to get my GPA up now, and if
Yeah.
I'm just like, having all these good grades and it doesn't really matter, it doesn't affect my GPA, I'd be a
Yeah.
little upset.
But with this too, like they're putting all the passes in as 100. So everyone who has a pass just got a huge GPA boost. Not a GPA boost, but like yeah, their semester just got really high. But as for ranks, it'll probably like not help people that much
That's what I was
since everyone
thinking.
got that boost.
Like my
Yeah.
school's like, I mean, I don't really know because when people say like their school's competitive, I don't really know how people can gauge that. My school seems like
Yeah.
a typical American high school, but like the people at the top of my class, myself included, are
Mm-hmm.
like very, very like there's nothing that's really gonna move them. So if we all get
Yeah.
hundreds, okay, we're gonna have a bigger number, but at the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Something else that I hate about not exactly just quarantine, but just the entire virus in itself is just like the racism and everything that I've been seeing going around. But we'll save that for another
yeah,
episode.
we'll save that for later on. But I mean, the
I have a lot
quarantines.
to say there.
Yeah, I mean, when I talk to my friends and family about it, I just keep on thinking,
Yeah.
this is like a what do you call it? It's like a once in a lifetime. Like this will probably be like one of the most traumatic events that
Mm-hmm.
happens during our lifetime. And honestly, I guess you could say I'm a little bit scared to see what life is after the coronavirus because
Yeah.
I have two baby nieces, and when I was talking with my
Mm-hmm.
dad where he was like, you have never lived in a world before 9/11. Like you don't know what it's like to go to an airport
Mm-hmm.
where you don't have to go through security and take off your shoes and things like that. And when I think about my nieces and I think about, kids that are just now being
Yeah.
born, what is life going to be like for them born after the coronavirus? Like,
That's so true.
are they not going to know what it's like to like shake hands with people that they first met? Are they not going to know what it's like to like, go to concerts anymore? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen like all those memes about like in 2060, if my children say they're lonely, I'll be like,
Yeah.
back in my day.
Yeah, I saw this too. I also saw the memes where it was like, oh my gosh, the DBQ for
Oh yeah.
2060 is gonna be ridiculous.
Over toilet paper.
Which honestly, I mean, I don't know. I was one of the kids that loved A Push, so I would have died to write about this over like I can't remember what I had to write for my DBQ. I think it's to write about
Oh really? I'm
prohibition.
in A-push right now.
Oh really? Do you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The class is really interesting. I love all the debates that we're doing, all the discussions and stuff. But the AP exam changed for this year. We're still doing a DBQ, but nobody has no idea what it's gonna be about. We're all like low-key freaking out, but trying to get that 5.
Now that's weird because okay, I know like for my sister's school, they only allowed
Mm-hmm.
A push to be done by juniors, but at my school, only freshmen can do A push.
Only freshmen.
Yeah, like, I had to do my freshman year, and I was like, that's
Wow,
wackadoodle. But I mean,
that is whack. Yeah, they had us take political science our freshman year. Then we took WAP sophomore year, and then now we're taking A-push. But like some people, if they like didn't have space available for WAP, they jump them up to A-push or something like that.
I don't even know what WAP is, so we are on two
Oh, world
different.
history.
Oh, we have
Yeah.
to. Oh, you mean AP World? We can't take that until junior
Yeah.
year, so isn't that funny?
Oh, okay.
I'm excited for that. A lot of people in my school don't like history. Like I didn't realize that before. That
Mm-hmm.
some people like they don't understand how to do well in history. That's how it is for a lot of STEM kids. Some of my friends are like
Kind of get that.
they're really good at math and science stuff like that. But if you
Mm-hmm.
ask them like what happened during the War of 1812, they'll like completely blank.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, like that history is definitely so important. And you can tell like some people do not know history.
it's not really that they don't know history, but like they don't know how to like learn history. Like I take it like it's a big story. Like
Mm-hmm.
imagine you're watching a show, you just got to recount what happened season one.
Oh yeah, because there's just so much information, and sometimes you don't know how to just
Yeah,
learn it piece by piece.
I think we're just lucky that we're in America. We're like
Mm-hmm.
American history is just so wild that it's fun to
It really
learn.
is.
But anyway, off from school, let's get on to the next question.
Yeah,
Favorite food combination?
I completely love some fries and some either a milkshake or ice cream, something like that together.
Oh, this one's hard. Favorite food combination. I'd probably go with movie theater popcorn and the blue raspberry icy because both of those together is just heaven.
I hear people say that all the time, and I've tried it,
It's
and
so
I don't
good,
understand the
dude.
hype. I don't understand the hype.
Dude, it's so good. Like just that,
If you say
just
so.
that. Oh, it's just like that combination, the sweet and salty, the hot and cold.
But what
like,
type of ice cream?
vanilla. Like,
Yeah.
it's the only one. It's the only one.
I cannot stand chocolate, but that's another question.
I can't either.
My favorite. See, I don't want to call yours basic, but it was basic.
Mhm.
Mine is
Okay.
apples in milk. If you put your apples
That's
in
definitely weird.
whole milk, it tastes impeccable. Also, carrots and barbecue sauce are definitely
Okay.
a staple. Um, just to add on to that, if you ever have Skittles and Mike and Ike's at the same time, it doesn't even matter what flavor. I mean, you're in for a roller coaster.
You just like unpacked a whole new world. Okay, first, apples and milk. Do you like dunk it, soak it, or what?
You could do a combination of the dunk and soak. It really depends on how much time I have. I think a nice soak is what anyone would want if they were an apple in that situation. But if you're pressed for time, just a dip will do.
I'll try that. And then carrots and barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I'm not even healthy enough to even consider carrots. And I don't really like, another thing I don't like is, what are they called? Condiments. Yeah.
Like any?
So I'm not a fan. No. My condiment is milkshake.
You haven't even had have you ever been to Chick-fil-A and then gotten Polynesian sauce?
Yeah, I have.
And that doesn't do it for you. Okay.
No.
Well, that's, I mean, already, again, strike number 2, your opinion's invalid, because I literally, every time I go to Chick-fil-A, I ask for 12 containers of Polynesian. And they always say, what do you need 12 for? And I'm always like, am I paying for you to ask me what I need 12 for, or am I paying for 12 Polynesian? So, but it's pretty good.
Hey, at least you didn't say cane sauce or Chick-fil-A sauce.
Exactly.
Those are so disgusting.
That should have been my unpopular opinion, because people, I don't know who started
they really
this
go crazy
charade that that Chick-fil-A sauce is good. I don't know who started it. I wasn't on it, but y'all keep on keeping it up, and I
just hate hearing that. Like, it's not good. Stop. It's sugar, and that's like it.
People want to lie and say it's good, and I'm like, who's it for? Who's holding you hostage that makes you believe that you have to perpetuate this lie? But, it's okay.
Okay, guys. Last question. Why should our listeners continue listening to MoDiv Talks?
Well, I mean, if you want great, insightful food recommendations by yours truly, I think that's enough alone. But besides the fun questions and the great answers, you should continue listening and stick around for a second episode and every episode after, because we are covering topics that you don't really see anywhere else, and we're doing it from the perspective of us, those who are growing up during this time, the Gen Zers. And even though that might sound like a setback to some, I think it is an advantage, because we're probably one of the most insightful generations yet, and we're the ones really taking the charge for mental illness and mental health overall. So I think that hearing our takes and hearing the hosts that we can bring on really can just manifest that wave.
I'm really excited for MoDiv Talks, and I feel that I really like how topics range from sharing stories about people's personal mental health and combating the stigma of mental health, but there are also like fun podcasts we'll have, like talking about art therapy or toxic masculinity. And I feel that it's really important if teenagers hear it from teenagers who've experienced it recently in this time period, so that it would allow them to be in a more relatable, supportive community.
I completely love your answer. I totally agree. I feel like you should continue listening, because we are teenagers, and even though like we hear all these things like, you teens don't know anything, you guys are, so ignorant, you don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely we are smart, like we have our own intellectual properties and stuff like that. And we take a whole new perspective into these situations that we're talking about. And we cover these serious topics, but we also want to show that we have personality as well. Like, we're going to talk to you about mental illness, about these serious topics, but we're also going to talk to you like a teenager would, because there's nothing wrong with that as well, like, we just want to show you that there's nothing wrong with mental health, with this stigma, and just, I feel like that's really important, because as teens, we're really, like, degraded a lot, just in society, but we definitely have our own perspective to put on things, and it's going to be so interesting.
Definitely. I mean, our opinion matters, because whether we like it or not, for a lot of mental illnesses, symptoms start to show up in your teen years. And I believe that if we can get to that audience, those who are just becoming susceptible to any type of mental illness, or for those who have friends that are becoming susceptible to that type of thing and want to
Yeah,
see how to interact with them, how to help them, or how to help themselves, we can help with that effort. So, you know, listening to us, feeling like there is a place at the table for every listener to join in on our conversation is one of our goals. We're trying to start a
exactly.
conversation about mental health, mental illness. We're not trying to lecture. We're just trying to say that this is not something that is taboo, that should be kept under covers. This is something we need to talk about because it's real.
Exactly.
That's all for our Q&A segment. If you have any questions, make sure you let us know. And please share this podcast with your friends, your family, or anyone that you think is in need. Anyone that you think would be interested in learning more and hearing more about mental health, mental illness, and the facets of how it affects us in our daily lives.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow our Instagram at Modern Divergence for more updates. If you liked what you heard, stick around for our second episode.